Since I made a video about it, there wasn't really much activity regarding its development, and since the original studio handed over development to Slytherin, I personally was worried that the game would be scrapped. But today I have some exciting news and actual gameplay footage for you guys to enjoy. Terminator Dark Fate Defiance will take place about 10 years after Legion took over in the new timeline, and will basically span the era of Legion taking control and pockets of resistance taking shape. In terms of lore or factions, there will be 3 main factions. These are the Movement, the Founders, and of course we have Legion. There will also be a 4th and 5th faction that you can interact with, but we will get there later in the video. First, let's have a look at one of the 3 teasers that Slytherin released.
Are we on? Are they jamming us again? Oh, I don't have much time. We are tracking multiple active HKs, but listen, there is someone else out here with us. Someone else fighting the machines. I don't know who these guys are, but they look pro. Which is crazy, because there isn't a military anymore, right? We're too far north for them to be cartel. That doesn't mean they're going to be on our side. I learned that the hard way. There are too many other survivor groups out here, each with their own agenda, not realizing there is only one real goal in this war. I think... All right, listen, I'll just try to track them, get more information. If they're friendly, we sure could do with the help, and if not... We're out of here. Being in the movement means always on the move, right?
Jessica Kidd is the leader of a group consisting of local resistance fighters in the Movement faction. Their weapons and vehicles are mostly makeshift, so there will be a lot of rough vehicles that were strapped with pieces of armor and weaponry. All the different units in this faction and all others that you will have at your disposal will be upgradable even further and can be fully modified with skills and perks of your choosing. The first unit that they showcase in the Movement faction is the Gorilla. Not a gorilla, but you know, the good, whatever. A squad of 6. They are great at close quarters and have far better training than militia forces. They can call in airstrikes and deploy remote explosives. Their weapons, ammo capacity, and even squad numbers can be upgraded further. The second unit is a 3-man technician squad that can repair any vehicle on the field, but they can also call in airstrikes and be upgraded to receive other special abilities, such as being trained to crew heavy vehicles, set or disarm mines, and remote explosives, so these guys can be seen as combat engineers. In terms of vehicles, there is a lightly armored transport trailer which can be upgraded to act as a stronghold, upgraded with weapons and additional armor. The trailer itself can be disconnected where you want and act as a forward operating base, which is really cool. Now, before we get into the second faction, let's look at the cinematic that introduces this one.
We lost good people today. They walked right into the machine's guns. We've all lost people. And we're going to lose more. Every day the machines keep hunting us. We have been fighting this war just to stay alive. But we have this new ally. Alex Church, part of this group called the Founders. They're what's left over of the old US military. He's been fighting alongside us. He is everything we need right now. And maybe something more. The best we can hope for isn't just to keep the human race going. This is how we fight back.
Now the second faction is the Founders, remnants of the US military, led by Lieutenant Alex Church, the main protagonist, who you will play as in the main storyline. You will have access to much more powerful weaponry that consists of modern day weapons plus 10 years of future tech. All vehicles can of course be upgraded and modified to your liking. This faction will include a sniper squad and an infantry squad that looks absolutely badass. This will be the universal combat unit in this faction and can also be upgraded with more powerful weaponry and other skills. Now most units in the game will have about 4 to 5 slots that can be filled according to what you want to do with these units, and these are abilities that you can assign to these units. The third faction will of course be Legion. Before we get to that, let's look at the third and final teaser.
Signal. I need this to get through. Are you there? Good. Listen, it's finally happening. Our people, the founders, survivor groups we didn't even know about, they're all coming together, fighting together against the machines. This is either the start of something big or the end of everything we've been fighting for, if it doesn't work. It has to work, right? You have seen the intel from Fort Worth. You know what those bastards are doing to the people that they have captured, what they're building with the data that they're getting. This battle, where we finally all come together, and I just hope that it is enough to stop whatever those bastards are building in there. All right, people, this is it. Let's get this done.
Legion will have some interesting units to play with. There will be squads of Revs. This will be based on the Rev 9 seen in the latest Terminator movie. They will be able to carry any kind of weaponry, blast through walls, and they will be really a force to reckon with. And you will not be able to just W key towards them and expect not to take any casualties. Another unit is the Spider Bot. This will be one of the main fire support units for Legion. A light and mobile weapon platform that can also be upgraded with light cannons, rocket launchers, guided missiles, better armor, faster movement, and so on. They can also deploy smoke screens and drones. So let's dive into some of the actual raw gameplay footage that was shown on Slytherin's livestream. All of this is a work in progress, so keep that in mind. First of all, loving the UI that is shown. A really nice minimap on the bottom left and unit preview with the weapons and ammunition they carry. It also shows damage, casualties, fuel, etc. Bottom right holds the commands you can give to units, and the top right will include the unit list that you have for quick selection. One awesome thing that is being made clear is that you will be part of a larger mission when you play through these campaigns, meaning that there will be AI allies that you do not control, really making it feel like you're part of something instead of being the one to lead the entire mission. Now there will be missions ranging from a convoy ambush shown here to a very stealthy mission that isn't really being shown yet. It might initially have the look of an arcade RTS, but honestly it feels much slower and more micro heavy than most modern arcade RTS games. Vehicles can be repaired with supply trucks, and supply trucks can be deployed on the field to form a type of forward operating base from which you can stage your attacks. Now, a cool detail is that during the campaign you will occasionally meet characters that have special abilities, and these characters can join your forces. Now these characters can also die, and the losses that you have will impact later missions. I don't know exactly to what degree yet, but it's nice to see that each mission will have a long-term effect on your campaign to a degree. There will also be the Marauders. This unplayable faction can be one that you can collaborate with to earn new tech and do missions with together. But this faction can also be pissed off at you when you get in their way and act against you to alter the storyline. So it's quite a dynamic campaign which offers a lot of replayability. The decisions you make affecting the upcoming missions is just great. Certain missions might be added or removed from your campaign depending on, the previous steps you have taken, who you've pissed off or befriended with, so that offers a lot of replayability on its own. Now in terms of gameplay mechanics, stealth is incorporated in the game quite a bit, from different infantry stances, from standing up to lying low. It not only affecting your stealth, but also the chance of getting hit by incoming fire. So there's a lot of good mechanics that I've seen in other RTS games that I would love to see in these kind of games, so it's nice to see it. Now there will also be different ammo types, and units will automatically use the best type of ammunition depending on which unit you're facing. But you can micro this aspect of your units too and disable, for example, guided missiles on your units to save them for later if you want to. Now there's a fifth faction called the Integrators, which salvage tech and integrate tech and will offer different vehicles and weaponry, and you will be able to trade and purchase things from this, and perhaps other factions as well. Now this was not discussed in further detail to not spoil too much, but in-game trading and purchases to really modify your unit sounds like a ton of fun. In general, things are looking very positive for this game. The overall gameplay mechanics, speed, micro aspects are really promising. It really feels like Slitherine wants to create an RTS game set in the Terminator era that has a lot of realism elements added to it to really make it an interesting game for RTS fans like you and me. I for one am really happy to see this, and it's nice to see some, multiple promising RTS games entering the market. So if you want to stay informed on this game's development and other RTS games development, subscribe, and I'll see you guys back in the next one. Take care.